Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. We're excited that you've joined us as we have a conversation. We found that a good conversation allows us to share what's on our mind, whether current events, what's grinding our gears, or our pet peeves.
It also allows us to share our top 3, a list of our favorite things on any given subject, most of which are highly opinionated. In closing, we share a good word. Solid friendships are encouraging. Even if we joke and give each other a hard time, our ultimate responsibility is to uplift each other.
Our goal is that you'll feel like you're part of the conversation, like you were in the studio with us, and that you feel encouraged after tuning in to our podcast. It's time to join the conversation.
All right, well, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a spectacular show for you.
Spectacular.
If I must say so myself.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to hear a good word from Mr. Amos.
Nope,
I don't think so. Have I been gone that long that this is just a disorganized cluster?
It is. Well, I
figured
thought we'd just throw you in there, but no, we're going to hear from Chet.
We never hear a good word from Matt. It's always negative. It's always.
Well, that's true. Every once in a while, we get
This is
something
why I'm
good
upset.
out of him.
Taxes.
Yeah, I'm still. I have yet to go sign those. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
You better get to it. Getting close to the date.
we are
Yeah, we're gonna hear a good word from Chet.
perfect. You're gonna get what's on my mind.
That's right, Pastor Chet. I'm going backwards. I'm going 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna do a good word with Chet. Then we're gonna have top 3 cartoons from your childhood, and that was given to us by a listener.
Yeah, Branden Rapp sent that in. Said that'd be a good top 3 to discuss. And he had to distinguish childhood because Matt still watches cartoons.
Right. Yes. Yep. It's okay though.
I'm all right with it.
I watch Mighty Pups and
I've never heard of Mighty Pups.
Shaw Shoal, so it's called Paw Patrol, but my 3-year-old says Shaw Shoal, so we call it Shaw Shoal at the house. I've seen many of those. But first, we're going to hear what is on Matt Amos's mind.
So today, because I've been gone and did not give you guys anything to study or look up so you can disagree with me, I'm going to...
But I don't have to study or look up anything to disagree with you.
Exactly, but you better be informed when you do. And you can't be on this one. So have you ever heard of those Choose Your Own Path book or Choose Your Own Adventure books?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have that option today. You get to choose your adventure.
Oh,
what
good.
road are we going to go down? Are we going to go down a road of ghosts, or are we going to go down a road of sensational phrases? Which path?
I'm going to let you choose, Troy.
I'm going to say sensational phrases.
Sensational phrases.
Sensational phrases for 200, Matt.
You got it, Alex. So we have, when I was gone, you sent a picture of an article, and it was of what I would call probably a supercell, right? Which is already a sensational phrase in the first place because it's a storm cell.
No, it's super.
But it's a storm cell.
Typically, supercells rotate, and other thunderstorm cells don't.
So
here we're already disagreeing right out of the gate.
Right, we haven't even got
Right
started.
out of the gate.
But you described exactly what I'm talking about when the headline says a honey bun formation.
Oh gosh.
So
Yeah.
right. So
I do
we have
remember sending that out.
and then back during COVID,
Cinnamon roll.
cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
No, not a honey bun, but
Cinnamon bun. That's what it was.
Cinnamon
wasn't it?
bun.
Yeah.
cinnamon.
Because that's
bun.
what the dudes with long hair call putting their hair up, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I know a few dudes with
All
long hair.
I know is that they said
Matt was the longest haired guy I knew until he got his hair cut.
Well, that's true.
I did get a haircut. You're welcome.
You got a beard trim too.
I did do that. Yep. But anyway, so we got all these sensational phrases that trump everything up. So back in towards the end of the whole COVID thing, when they were trying to keep it going and spur more fear in people, they called it a viral blizzard because we were just coming into winter, and they were all saying, oh, there's going to be this huge outbreak and a lot more deaths, and it's going to be a viral blizzard.
I remember that.
I do remember that.
It's just, it's so crazy to me. And the reason I got started on this and you see how this choose your own adventure kind of weaves itself into each other, because they have what they call a ghost gun. Ghost guns.
Okay.
Right?
On those choose your own adventure books, do they always lead to the same ending?
No, you get to choose. I let you choose the path to where you started
Because
here.
we're going where you wanted to talk about in the first place. I feel like there was some false advertising.
I'm a politician. What can I say? I take you to the choices that I want, and I lead you like the news to the things I want you to hear and the things I want you to spin around in your brain and think about. But they talk about these ghost guns, which are supposed to be these guns that you can't trace or you can't you can't find, right? Mm-hmm. And so the Biden administration has just come out with is it an executive order, Chet? I can't remember exactly what it was, but
An ATF rule.
So a memorandum or
no, a new rule, a definition change of what a firearm is, according to the ATF. They were commissioned by President Biden to crack down on ghost guns.
in a way to circumvent Congress.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you could argue that the ATF, being in existence, circumvents Congress.
Well, I was going to say the organization.
We're not going to go there today.
The organization that should be disbanded is making more rules, but they're talking about from what I can gather from everything that I've read, the 80% lower platforms that you build an AR with, for the most part, or 80% lower on a Glock or something like that. And they make it seem like it's so easy. I just read an article earlier today from it was Channel 2 News out of somewhere. And they're like, yeah, we ordered one of these $500 kits online and we got it in. And then we just, we scraped out the trigger, I forget what the trigger something or other, and it wasn't even the right name for it. Basically where the trigger well is, when you have an 80% lower, there's stuff that's built up in there that you actually have to mill out. So it's not like everybody, who buys one of these has the capability to even turn it into a functional firearm, and let alone that you can't sell it. It's yours. You have to keep it because it's not serialized. So that's your weapon. And I
wasn't listening to you just now.
I know you weren't,
but were you clear on saying that it is 100% legal, according to all the laws and ATF rules, still to this day?
Until 4 days from now.
No. It's still to own a firearm that you manufactured yourself that does not have a serial number.
Yeah, that's legal.
And it will be legal even after the rules implemented.
How's that so? I guess I didn't catch that.
It's still legal. I think the rule is specific to semi-automatic sporting or semi-automatic. It's still going to be. It's not changing the legality of owning a self-manufactured weapon that's not serialized. It is, or is it? I don't think it's clear.
Is it a government law?
It's not a law. It's a rule. A statute. It's not a law because Congress never voted on it.
Right.
So then it's confusing.
But it's
I mean,
but it's kind of, but you look at it kind of like the CDC making all these rules that everybody had to follow.
Right.
That they're not law. Why do we have to follow them? But they can still throw you in jail for it. And so that's how they're circumventing this whole thing, because they know they'd never get anything through Congress because, there's however many hundreds of millions of gun owners in the United States that, hey, you screw that up and you're out. And so they don't want to lose that. So they'll leave it to the ATF because they're already the bad guys. And that's kind of what I see. And, I was reading and apparently you probably have some ghost guns at home. You probably have some ghost guns at home.
It depends on your definition of ghost
gun.
gun.
And I definitely have some ghost guns at home.
It depends on your definition of ghost guns. I can't say all. The guns that were manufactured, wherever they were manufactured, were serialized as long as serial numbers are being used.
So they were serialized at one point. However, how do they track that serial number?
It's not even about tracking. It's about serialization.
Right, but I'm saying they claim that there's 13,000 ghost guns a year that they confiscate or claim or whatever it is. But used in crime, the number is well below that. So how are they justifying these guns that they can't find? So there's a lot of
can't trace.
Not
about can't find.
But that's what they're calling ghost, is you can't trace it.
They can't trace it. I could trace it.
Right. But that's what they want. They want to trace it.
For what I think you're wrong. Because I like to argue with you, number one. But the way they're approaching it and the way that they're talking about this on the ghost guns are the problem. And what the rule is about is just serializing specific gun parts. So there are certain gun parts that don't require serial numbers.
Upper receivers, bolts, stuff like that. The only thing that's required is on the lower receiver.
A complete lower.
Yes, a complete lower.
A completely manufactured lower that is sold.
Right.
That's still the case. You have to sell it. It has to change hands in order for the law or the rule for serialization. But I think what the way everybody's talking about this is that if a firearm has a proper serial number, it won't be used in a crime. The serial number
is what prevents
stops crime. So this initiative on eliminating ghost guns is literally, let's just serialize all the guns, is not going to stop anything.
No.
It's not going to stop anything.
No.
So that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So what's their motive? I mean, they always have a stupid reason for their motive behind doing something.
Because they can't define ghost gun. Like, it's not clear. But ghost gun, I think this is to your point on the terminology, right?
Yep.
Let's just create this term, ghost gun. Ghost guns are bad. There's a guy like, I don't know, 5 years ago.
Okay.
This is a ghost gun. It's killed 1 million people and it could shoot 500 rounds in a half second.
3,000 rounds a second. Yeah.
Anyway. But they're politicians that know nothing about guns
period,
or crime or stopping crime or laws. And they're talking to a populace of people that know nothing about guns or crime
or laws.
But they're saying ghost guns are bad now. Ghost guns. So we're going to eliminate ghost guns. Well, we're going to by law require specific parts of guns to be serialized now. And if they're serialized, then the law or the rule will be you have to go to your FFL, your federal firearms license dealer, and have you have to go through an FFL to purchase certain gun parts. If you're going to buy a gun legally. If you're not,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So,
but so my whole point was, they're claiming that 13,000 untraceable firearms a year are somehow found. So they found the ghosts. And I got to looking at that because later in the article, they say that on a long gun, they're not required to keep those records. So if, after 10, 20 years, they're like, man, I've got all these files from the last 20 years of all these guns. I'm going to start shredding or destroying the last 5, or the first 5 years of that so that I can open up more room. All those serial numbers that were in all that paperwork are no longer traceable. So they become a ghost gun. So how many guns have you owned that are 20 years old?
Don't answer that question, Troy. This is going.
I may or may not own a lot, right? So, my gun case is full of ghost guns because they're not traceable.
They've been that old.
Yeah.
And I have a question: is Mr. ATF? if there is a gun that was purchased legally and went through an FFL and went through all the background checks, which you can't, if you go through an FFL, that's what happens, and you file the serial number off, do you create a ghost gun that way? Because it's all about a serial number.
Probably so, and that's a very dangerous check because that gun's going to start murdering people.
It's going to go out and murder people.
It's going to start shooting people at random.
It's going to grow legs.
That's right. You got to be careful.
I need to be a ghost gun.
I'll give you a serial number.
Let me scratch it off real quick. Hey,
it's crazy. I'm not a big fan at all. I'm going to go back to
circling back.
I'm circling back. There was a dude that literally said this, tweeted this. A tornado in northeastern North Carolina yesterday evening. There's a picture of it. Green hail core behind a cinnamon bun circulation. It was an incredible experience to photograph from so close. Yeah, stop tweeting about storms.
Cinnabon.
Please.
I wonder if Cinnabon, like that company, is
sponsoring tornadoes.
That's right. Sponsoring Storm
This
Tracker
funnel
12.
cloud brought to you by.
Yeah.
With its beautiful cinnamon bun circulation.
Look at that. You can almost see the sprinkles.
It's a green hail core, like what's green? Lemon lime Gatorade.
Ooh, there you go.
But it's all just ridiculous to me. I mean, it's all words.
Yeah.
That's all it is words. It's ineffective. You know, just like
the politicians speaking the words.
Well, true.
Ineffective.
Ineffective. That's what it was funny today because Chet had something up on his computer and it was I forget the politician's name. He's up there talking. I just can't stand to listen to any of them. But it's the guy that thought that Guam was going to tip over.
Hank something. You know about this?
No.
There's a congressman.
Please enlighten me.
I'll send you the link.
Does he think the world's flat?
We'll put it in the show notes. But he was questioning like the admiral of the Navy.
Yeah.
About the Navy base growing, the Navy base we have on Guam.
Yeah.
And in a congressional hearing,
it's recorded.
Horseshoe table, Congress people sitting around the horseshoe, Secretary of the Navy sitting at a desk like this with a microphone in front of his face, and he's like, I've looked at maps of where you are on the island here, and your growth is all happening on the one side of the island.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Aren't you concerned that it's going to tip over? He was dead serious. And
did anybody comment?
People are saying, like, you know, kudos to the professionalism of that admiral. I'm saying no. Like, at some point,
you got to call stupid.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Like, and you could do it professionally. I mean, you don't have to be unruly. But Congressman, did you just ask me if we put too much weight on one side of an island that it will flip over? And
it's going to capsize because it's a boat.
He will say,
it's a buoy.
He will say, yes, that's what I'm asking. Well, you know what? We're going to just tow the island and make our country bigger. Like, we're going to bring it into California because LA is too overpopulated. We're going to just hook up to Guam with some towboats.
Drag it on in.
And that admiral for recommending that just got a pay raise. That's genius, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. You know,
that's exactly the type of leadership we need.
But anyway, there was a video. So that was from 10 years ago.
Yeah. You know, and then we talk about more.
But the video I was watching where Matt heard his voice was from this week. He got reelected multiple times. That idiot congressman.
Guy? Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, so I think the comment that I made, I turned over to you. We deserve everything.
Yeah, we deserve everything we get.
Everything that we get is our fault because that congressional district votes for that.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally a guy in Congress that thinks islands tip over because there's too much weight on one side.
He's got to be a flat earth guy too, I'm sure.
He probably doesn't even know about it. He obviously is not read enough.
Hank Johnson. He passed the bar. He's a lawyer.
Oh, man.
And that explains our legal system. And that explains the White House talking about Biden and what's her name, close contact when he kissed her on the cheek. And apparently that's not considered close contact for COVID protocol. They've been defending that over the last week. I mean,
oh gosh,
I'm
sorry. During COVID, they were telling people to wear body condoms.
Well,
and kissing somebody on the cheeks, not close contact.
You couldn't even sing in church. They didn't want you singing in church.
Right, exactly.
Because that was too close.
Too close. Yeah.
That's why I have lost all faith in the government, like zero. I have none.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're going to do except.
Well, according to Chet, nobody's going to do anything.
2010. I'm going to put a link in the show notes. He said that in 2010.
And he's still in Congress.
12 years later.
The congressman gets reelected every 2 years. So he's run unopposed a couple of times. But, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
What state is he from?
Georgia.
Georgia.
Don't talk about Georgia. I like Georgia.
Fix yourself, Georgia.
Anyway.
All right. Well, we had enough of that.
I bet. I'm just going to go out on a limb here. The cinnamon bun swirl tornado guy, if he lived in Hank Johnson's district, he would have voted for him. I guarantee you. I guarantee. We can't just talk about this supercell has rotation. No. We
can't just talk about rotation.
Cinnamon bun rotation.
Or the
ghost guns. Untraceable weapons.
Untraceable.
No, they're ghost guns. I want to be a ghost citizen. I don't want to be traceable.
Too bad.
Yeah.
You're traceable.
That's your social security number, sir.
Matt's like, I could turn you into a ghost. You won't be a citizen anymore. You'll start voting Democrat after you're dead.
They start showing up to claim my guns. There's going to be a lot more ghosts made.
All right,
man. All right, well,
thanks, Matt.
Appreciate that, Matt. It's always good to hear what's on your mind. Let's take a quick break
before a tornado outbreak.
That's right. And hear a word from our sponsor.
At Admiral's Pennant, our mission is to offer the latest and refined, high-quality masculine products and services to the modern gentleman, as well as provide him with the tools and products necessary to look, act, and feel confident in his appearance and social interactions. Check it out at admiralspennant.com. Without it, you might as well shave.
Fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
That's your government.
Oh, man.
These are the people leading us into the future.
Going to tip over and capsize. All right. That's incredible. So
you know what that reminds me of?
What?
A cartoon.
Yes. Good segue there, Matt.
You're welcome.
All right, top 3 cartoons from your childhood. Chet.
All right.
Why don't you lead us off there, sir?
I'm following suit. Last week, you heard. I know you listened.
Oh, but, you got some.
I've got a notable mention. It's not honorable. It's notable though.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear what Tinkerbell has to say.
So, Beast King, Go Lion.
What?
Beast King, Go Lion.
Beast King.
Is that ringing a bell?
Go Lion. What? Thundercats?
Is that ringing a bell? Have you ever heard of the cartoon called Voltron?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, my claim to fame in kindergarten was we moved back to the States.
You had the big thing that came together?
No.
Oh, I had that.
We moved back to the States when I was in kindergarten, or to start kindergarten. And one of the shows, prior to that, we were living in Japan. And one of the shows that I was really into in Japan was Beast King Go Lion. That's what it was called in Japan.
And
so I had all this stuff, all this, I had like a pillowcase and all, and so Voltron in the U.S. had not released yet.
Oh, wow.
So
you were ahead of the game.
Yeah, when it came out, I'm like, oh my gosh, here we are. And I had all this, I had stuff. I'm not like the toys hadn't made it yet. When the cartoon hit, I already knew it. And my friends were like, oh my gosh, this is brand new, but you already have like the bed sheet set of, and I'm like,
I've been a fan for years.
Yes, I know this. Like this is not surprising to me, So anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. And it also dates me from an age perspective. Honorable mentions, Transformers, and spent a lot of time watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Number 3, Turtle Power.
Turtle Power.
Number 3, there could be an argument here that I wasn't a child, but Animaniacs. One of my all-time favorite cartoons. You know what I'm talking about.
I vaguely remember that.
So there was Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. They were the Warner Brothers studio. Dr. Otto von Scratch-and-Sniff. Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, yeah.
Pinky and the
I
Brain?
remember Pinky.
They came out with their own thing.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering? Yes.
We take over the world.
That is right. Yeah, one of my favorite ones.
What are we gonna do tomorrow, Pinky?
Number 2, just Looney Tunes. The Warner Brothers Looney Tunes started back in 1930. I was not a child back then, but
you were a grown man.
It's like right before they'd ship me off to the war. Yeah, love it. Bugs, Daffy, Elmer, Wile E. Coyote, Road Runner,
Yosemite Sam,
the old Tweety and Sylvester with Granny. I mean, just wholesome cartoon violence and death, or attempted death.
Yeah, I was going to say, wholesome. Where are you going with this? Yes, lots of death.
Yeah, not death. Nobody died.
Cartoon deaths.
Right. They come right back. They respawn right away.
They weren't dead. They were still there, but a lot of pain, a lot of aches.
Yeah.
And then my number 1, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Had a run from 1989 to 1992.
Real American Hero.
It was awesome.
Yep.
It's been forever since I've seen the G.I. Joe.
Yeah, the cartoon.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah, they came out with a movie when we were kids.
Cartoon movie.
Yeah, cartoon movie.
Yep.
And they said a bad word in the movie.
No, that was Transformers.
No. Pretty sure it was G.I. Joe.
Pretty sure it was Transformers.
Jenny! What's her name? Who's going to fact check us? All right.
No idea.
That's a good top 3. I like it.
And I'll double check. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Transformers.
It might have been both.
Maybe.
Who knows? All right. I will go
Troy,
next. I do
why don't you
have
go next
a
for
few
us?
notable mentions.
Notable. They're not honorable, but they're noteworthy.
Noteworthy. I too had Transformers and TMNT for that.
Yes.
Do you know
Those were honorable for me.
those were notable for me?
Okay.
And two other notables.
Okay.
Remember Danger Mouse? Did y'all ever watch Danger Mouse?
I know of Mighty Mouse.
Oh, Danger Mouse was on Saturday Night Live.
No.
No, what was it?
He was a Saturday morning cartoon.
What'd he do?
He was like a detective. I don't remember. It's been a long time. That's why it's notable, because I remembered it. And I have some honorable mentions.
How many? Do you have more honorable mentions than notable?
Same amount.
Okay.
All right.
So 4 and 4.
Scooby-Doo.
Imagine that.
Scooby Snacks.
I saw a meme recently that said what Scooby-Doo taught us is that your worst enemies are people that you already know.
That is very good. Very true.
I know I can't take credit. I just saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I heard a good thing about that the other day. Instead of teaching kids stranger danger, because most strangers aren't that dangerous, start teaching your kids that there are tricky people out there. Because a tricky person could be somebody in your family.
And, you know, it's tricky to walk around.
It's tricky.
I wondered if you picked it up.
That's good.
Yes, we got to do the tricky.
That was good. All right. Inspector Gadget.
Yep.
All right. And gummy bears. Remember the gummy bears?
No.
Bouncing here and there from everywhere. Huh?
Care Bears?
No, the gummy bears.
I've eaten a gummy bear.
Right. There was a show about the gummy bears, and they were dressed up like Robin Hood, and they drank this secret potion, and they would bounce around.
No clue.
That's a good example.
It was a great show. I was young.
Let me guess. My Little Pony is next.
No, it's not.
You should have ended.
Thundercats.
Okay.
Oh,
Hey, there it is. Thundercats. All right, that's all my mentions. But I thought they were worthy. All right, number 3.
Oh, we're not done with you yet?
No, it's Broughton opened Pandora's box. We're just going to start throwing things out there.
I appreciate it, bro.
Notable mentions, we don't even have to care about it.
That was fun.
This is the top 100. Casey Kasem.
Number 3. The Simpsons. Huh? Still going today. It's incredible.
How many years is that? 20.
That's not a childhood cartoon, but you probably were watching it as a child.
It started out as a childhood.
It started out pretty childhood, from what I remember.
What?
I mean, Bart was still a juvenile delinquent.
Eat my shorts.
Calling the bar where his dad was all the time?
Well, you have a point.
But
Like a childhood show doesn't have a bartender as a main character. a bartender and a drunk in the main characters.
As a kid.
Now that I'm thinking about this.
It's not a childhood cartoon.
But as a kid, you don't pick that up.
We start.
Yeah, you really don't.
Starting to put the puzzle pieces together on Troy's upbringing.
Yeah, that might have had a lot to do with my rebellion.
That's funny.
Oh, man. All right, number 2, G.I. Joe was a classic, We already went over
that. Was the one, like, of all the stuff that I mentioned, I talked about the Voltron stuff, but, I mean, from a toy perspective, that was a direct connection, cartoon and toy. Like, you can, G.I. Joe's on. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some G.I. Joe figures.
Oh, yeah. We already told the aircraft carrier story, too.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard it, you're going to have to go
Had a car land on that thing.
Back and listen to that one.
A real one.
A real car.
If you don't like my driving, get off the sidewalk.
That's right. All right, at number 1, it was my all-time favorite. I remember that fit you had that one Christmas?
Yeah, with Legos.
That you talked about?
Mm-hmm.
I had a fit one day because my mom wouldn't let me watch He-Man.
Oh, yeah. He-Man almost made my list.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
The Masters of the Universe in Castle Grayskull.
have the power.
Yes, dude. I
love that Skeletor's still around in a meme.
Yeah, he's still out there.
He's awesome.
Yeah. So that's it, man.
That's a good one.
That's my list. Matt, what you got?
You have literally destroyed my top 3.
Yes.
Same. So
in that order?
Simpsons, G.I. Joe, He-Man.
Wow.
To the point that I actually have the He-Man collector's edition with Castle Grayskull in like a glass marble type container, and then you open it up, and I've got all the DVDs where they re-released the He-Man series.
Nice.
Where is this?
At my house.
Why isn't it at the office?
Because we don't have a DVD player. And
$29.
And it might get sold.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I might, or after I watch it.
Man, see, Matt, every time we do this podcast, I feel like we have.
But you're going to have to add one
common.
more because Simpsons still, that's not a child.
But in his honorable mentions, he took up one of my honorable mentions, which was Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
We're the same age. I mean, you're a little bit older, so you have like this range of stuff that was way before us in black and white.
I'm sorry.
We have color cartoons.
Looney Tunes
Sorry,
he's black and white.
He's a little more ancient than we are.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
you're kind of Inspector Gadget right now. You can go grow taller.
I can go. So it's kind of funny.
Go Gadget legs.
My one of the Marines that I served with.
He had to charge his leg earlier today.
It was
like,
dead.
oh, my battery's getting low.
But one of the Marines that I served with, her daughter calls me Uncle Go-Go Gadget. That's my name.
Nice.
Can I call Uncle Go-Go Gadget? So, yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, not Uncle Daffy Duck, because that's too old of a cartoon.
Yep. And I would have to say that, like,
Yep.
was it DuckTales that was that had
DuckTales.
Scrooge?
No, that was
No, it was
Scrooge McDuck.
It was
DuckTales?
DuckTales. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I
Okay.
never watched any of the.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah.
The only Disney one I watched was Gummy Bears.
That was Disney.
I'm about 99% sure it was. I might have to fact check that.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is it was always kind of crazy for him to dive into his silo of gold coins and come out unscathed.
It's a little misleading.
It is, because you can't do that.
Those are solid.
I've tried it
Yeah.
in my piles of
And
gold.
the mountain of gold in Kansas.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a whole room dedicated to it.
Gummy Bears was Disney. You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah. I watched that.
Was Disney on normal TV?
It came on Saturday mornings.
Well, I mean, like,
Well, I mean, the Muppet, you had like
that's
the.
probably on the Disney Channel, though. I only had ABC and NBC.
I didn't have the Disney Channel. I might have had it for a year or two, but we didn't have it all the time.
Yeah.
So maybe.
And just to
Because you two city boys.
That's right.
yeah, to legitimize.
Yeah.
That's so 2021, Chet. But we're in 2022. Catch up with the times. But and then the GI Joe. Like growing up, I actually had like a bunch of the toys, and I had the like a pajama outfit that was camo, and said GI Joe across the front. And then I had the helmet, and I had the 45, the Colt 45 plastic pistol on my side, and my mom's got a picture
Goes
of
great for sleeping.
it does, but I used to go out and
He still sleeps with that on his hip.
it's just
It's just real.
It's a ghost
No, it's
gun.
not. It's ghost.
It's a ghost gun.
it's scary.
It doesn't exist.
But no, so and then I think because my mom, we went through a bunch of pictures because my wife and I just celebrated our 18th anniversary.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way.
And we made it 2 more years. Our marriage is now officially an adult, so I don't know what that means or what we're supposed to do now. But
Is your relationship going to move out? I mean,
I think we will. I think we'll just move out, and the kids are just now on their own.
there you go.
Hey, that's what we're trying to do.
But my mom was going through. She's got this box that she calls my box at her house, and it's just full of my stuff that she's kept from childhood, over the years and stuff like that. And so I was asking for a specific
It's your
picture.
box. It's Matt's box.
Yep. And then there's my brother's box, which is Aaron's box. So we each have our own box, and they're in the shed. And so she's going through all that. And I know that uniform from G.I. Joe back then is still in there. And then I know that there's some Simpsons shirts and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirts
Oh, yeah.
in there as well. Because it was one of those, like you said, it had more of an adult theme to it, but as a kid, you really don't pick up on that stuff. But
Well, it wasn't as bad as Big Johnson's shirts. You remember this?
Yeah.
First day I came home with a Big Johnson shirt, my parents were like, "Oh my gosh,
No,
take
not
that
doing
off."
That. Another big strikeout was Hypercolor. You remember Hypercolor?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It
You could breathe on it and
would change
colors.
temperature when it got hot.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody had like pits. Their pits were all different colors.
I did have some of those.
Like, hey, why are you so hot? You sweat a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
it just pointed out
his shirt.
pointed out everybody's flaws.
I mean,
Oh,
I
man.
used to have them under my pits, and I'd probably get under my under my chesties.
From pits to tits.
That's why they did away with it. Everybody got older and fatter.
I'd have a couple of Amazon smiles. Maybe that's where they got the idea for that shirt. What's that shirt? The happy face on it.
Oh, have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
No, that's because Forrest Gump wiped his shirt. Or wiped his face with that guy's shirt, remember?
But we all know.
That's where it came from.
Speaking of Forrest Gump, what do you think his password on his computer is?
Who's? Forrest Gump?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Shrimp?
One Forrest one.
That's good.
That really is not that good.
All right, let's move on.
I can't wait. I got the best dad joke ever.
We're not doing dad jokes.
No.
But it's coming
We're
up.
going to do a top 3 dad jokes.
Oh, okay.
And I can't say this one because it is that good.
Okay, good. Don't ruin it for us.
But that's a top 3 coming up for Father's Day is top 3 dad jokes. So
yeah.
Be prepared.
Very good. I will.
It's in June, by the way.
Okay.
It is so good. I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Yes. All right, let's
he
move
was
on.
researching yesterday. That's why the one Forrest one came up. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yep.
Moving on to a good word with the chosen book.
The word today, logs.
Not the kind from last week.
Right. I was about to say this should have been from last week.
What do you guys, what comes to mind? Not last week.
Plank.
Biblically.
Plank in your eye.
Yes. So Matthew 7, verses 3 through 5. Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? Some translations say plank.
Yes.
Or how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye while there's a log in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. What does that mean to you guys right out of the gate?
Check yourself before you check others.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, when you're on a plane, they say, if the oxygen things come down, put the mask on yourself first.
And then others.
So you can help yourself and then get the oxygen mask on other people so you can help them. So take care of yourself first, then you can help other people. It's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, and I think the thing that stands out to me here is that it says you do not notice the log in your eye. So how much have we become accustomed to in excusing things from ourselves that we don't even notice it? And then we're so critical of other people that we're calling out a speck that they may have when we've got a log sticking out of our eye and we don't even notice it. It's not and then the point there, I think that Jesus is making as well, how does that person with a speck in their eye look at you saying, let me help you with that speck, that issue that you've got, we're going to correct that, when that person is seeing a big old log out of your eye and you're acting like it's not even there. It's not. They don't even notice it.
Oblivious.
Yes. Oblivious to the log. So how would you avoid that? If we happen to be, all three of us and all of our listeners happen to be a person with some flaw that is so obvious and impacts others around us, yet we're critical of the others around us. What's something that we could change, do differently, to not be such a hypocrite trying to correct other people? There's a couple things. I'm not looking for one specific answer. What do you guys think?
I'm at a loss.
I think just looking inward at yourself and see what's going on.
Quit paying attention to everybody else's flaws or issues and say, well, what could somebody out there say about me? Or what's something that I may not notice about myself that's pretty obvious to other folks. So I'm going to start looking inside instead of looking at other people's issues and what their flaws may be.
Well, and also it's always good to have somebody that you can
ask.
Yeah, that you can ask. Hey, man, you been seeing anything lately that I've been doing? Or
Troy, ask me.
Hey, Matt, have you been seeing anything?
Yes.
Oh, dang it. I knew
Let me
that
help
answer.
you with that spec, sir.
I've got a draft already saved. Let me go hit send. I've been waiting for you to ask this question.
No, you know what? The best people to point out your flaws are your kids. And they do it whether they're not even asking, or you're not even asking.
There's no ill intention behind it. They just point it out.
No, they don't point it out. They just do things, and you're like, oh.
Why are you doing that?
I know they got that for me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I see that.
Yeah.
With 5 kids, I see it all the time.
Right.
It's hard to admit, but yeah.
Why do you talk to your mom that way?
Oh, snap. Quit yelling in the house. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
Mine cannot be repeated.
So anyway, I think it's a very valuable passage in two ways. And I think another way, kind of to answer the question that I asked, is not. So you're saying look inward. You could also just not be the person that's going around pointing everything out with somebody else. Yeah. You know, especially. And
that goes back to another passage, though. I can't recall the verse off the top of my head.
Paraphrase.
But, you know, it's not for us to judge.
Yeah.
So.
But we need to be judging ourselves, looking inward at ourselves and saying, "Hey, what's going on?"
Self-evaluation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
I like it. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Maybe we shouldn't have been poking so much fun at Mr. Johnson from Georgia.
No.
We're not judging him. We're
pointing out stupidity. I have effectively removed that log from my eye, and I clearly see
scientifically
that guy needs help.
That's not a speck. So let's stop right there.
All right.
He's about to say something.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.